Hello, good day everyone. This is teacher Erica and I will be your teacher for today. Yes, but before we start, let me ask you first. How was your day? Oh, I see. I hope that you have a great day ahead. So now, let's proceed with our discussion. So our lesson topic for today is all about metacognitive. Do you have any idea what is metacognitive? If so, let me explain it to you. Metacognitive is the term attributed to Flavel. It means describing one's cognitive processes and products, anything related to them. Yes, you heard it right. So for example, when you study an exam, this talks about how you will go into study an exam. So do you prefer if you visualize something or just a pure text? Yes, this talks about visual versus textual. So in metacognition or metacognitive, the learner is more preferred if he or she visualize something. He or she saw a diagram, a graphics, a charts, a pictures. He or she is more preferable than that. Instead of just reading on what he can read or he can read in the modules, in the text, or in an article. Yes, because it develops your development or cognitive learning or cognitive development. Yes, that's right. So now, let's go deeper about metacognitive. So metacognitive or metacognition has two components. First is the metacognitive knowledge, and second is the metacognitive regulation. These two are interrelated. Yes, you heard it right. It is interrelated, or the two are interrelated. So metacognitive knowledge refers to what an individual knows about their condition or cognition in general. It involves three kinds of cognitive awareness, namely declarative knowledge, procedural knowledge, and conditional knowledge. Yes, there are three awareness or metacognitive awareness in the metacognitive knowledge. Now let's talk about the declarative knowledge first. Declarative knowledge or the personal knowledge is the learners know about the things. It also refers to understanding of an abilities and the knowledge of one's learners of the factors moderate one's performance. So for example, you're studying in math exam. Diba? Ato ang usual dili kay ganahan sa math because math is difficult to understand. Many formulas, many procedures, many steps to take, and such. So in this part, in declarative knowledge or the personal knowledge, when you're studying a math exam, for example, you have to do an exam or have an exam in algebra, but you excel in geometry. This knowledge helps you because even if you are more excel in geometry, you can still use your knowledge or what is your knowledge in geometry to studying or when studying in algebra. Yes, it takes more time or you can take study time in this knowledge. It also develops your cognitive knowledge that enhances on how you will go to solve a problem or challenges in you. Yes, that's right. Now, let's proceed to the procedural knowledge or the task knowledge. So this involves the knowledge of how to do things and how skills or competencies executed. It is about how to do something. So for example, when you're riding a bike, So when you're riding a bike, you have to know how to balance, usa ang paggamit sa pedal, usa ang paggamit sa monobela. Kung di ka kabawa na, syempre matumba ka or mabangga. Right? Yes. So this one, it allows you to develop your knowledge, especially through experience and practice. It allows you to execute your skills. Yes, that's right. So kaning nga part is that bisag dili pa nimo i-explain maayo or i-explain sa imuha maayo ang mga procedures or steps on how to do it, ma-learn ra gyapon nimo siya. Yes. Now, let's proceed to the conditional knowledge or the strategy knowledge. This one is refers to the ability to know when and why various cognitive acts should be applied. Yes. So for example, magsuwat ka og essay, no? So kung magsuwat ka og essay, kinahanglan na kay sapat or kanang enough na evidence nga mag-prove gali nga kanang mas convincing or mas persuasive ang imuhang essay, diba? So kung mag-write ka og essay, kahibaw na ka unsa imuhang angay na buhaton. Kahibaw na ka unsa imuhang angay apilon, kahibaw na ka asa kadapit mas maghatag og evidence or support para mas convincing gyud ang imuhang essay. Yes, so that is your ability because you know when and why you can use it or you can have that one para mas effective ang imuhang essay or mas masabtan ang imuhang essay. Yes, that's right. Now let's proceed to the next topic. Our next topic is the metacognitive regulation and control. Do you have any idea about that one? If so, let's go deeper for that one. So metacognitive regulation and control is the second element of metacognition. Yes, so ganito ang first. Sakto, metacognitive knowledge. So karon, let's go to the second element, which is the metacognitive regulation and control. So this talks about metacognitive knowledge, which refers to the cognitive or one's cognitive processes and products related to them. In this part, metacognitive regulation pertains the ability to keep on track of and access their knowledge of learning. It includes the ability to find out when, what, and how to use a particular skills on a given task. Yes, you heard it right. So for example, when you're doing a test, kinahanglan kahibaw jud ka unsa imuhang buhaton, kahibaw sa ka mo follow sa steps na angay pud nimo buhaton. Am I right? That's great. So now let's talk about the metacognitive regulation. So metacognitive regulation has three processes. Yes, you heard it right. Kahibaw ba mo unsa ang three processes? Kung wala, I'll explain it to you. So the three processes of metacognitive regulation are the setting goals and planning, the monitoring and controlling learning, and the last is the evaluating own regulations. Now let's talk about the planning. So planning involves the selection of appropriate strategies and the allocation of resources that affects performance. Yes, sakto. So for example, when you're doing something, this something takes time, effort, and materials. So kinahanglan mo nga mag-take ka of goals which are classified as mastery goals or are related to process learning and development, and performance goals associated with project orientation and demonstrating competence of social comparisons to the peer group. Yes, you heard it right. The mastery goals and the performance goals. Mo ni siya ang duha ka goals nga naa sa planning. Yes, so when you're doing something, you have to plan it appropriately. That's right. Let me ask you something. What is the difference between efficient and effective? When you say effective learning and efficient learning, what do you mean by that? Yes. So efficient learning, it takes a time, a short period of time. For example, when you're doing a task, naa may deadline, di ba? So kana nga deadline, kinahanglan na nimo nga ma-meet or ma-meet ang imong goals ana. Kay kung malapas ka, possible na for example, dili na dawaton or may nusa na kasi mga teachers. While the effective learning is what you learn during your procedure or the planning or the strategies that you implement. Do you understand? Yes. Now let's proceed to monitoring. So this one is refers to one's ongoing awareness of comprehension and task performance. It involves the ability to consider the accuracy of knowledge and procedure to solve the task. Yes, that's right. So for example, a student is solving a math problem. Ikaw, teacher ka, imuhang estudyante, imong gipasolve of math problems. So kaning monitoring, it means kahibaw ang student kung unsay angan niya buhaton because you give him or her a guide. You give her or her a steps galing. Like for example, when you going to give a task to your student specifically in algebra, lisod mo jud ka ng algebra, then what if the student didn't know about that or mas prefer niya ang laing topic like geometry, diba? So when you apply a steps, kung nakabaw aware ang student mo na first step is to know the numbers, second is to know the Faber formula, and the next and so on and so forth. It means mas na-acquire niya or mas na-apply niya ang kana na knowledge sa iyahang pag-eskwela or pag-answer sa kana nga specific na math problem. Do you understand? Okay, now let's proceed to evaluating. So evaluating refers to appraising the products and efficiency of one's learning or completing a task. Yes, same with the planning. Planning and evaluating is also related because of what I've said, the efficient and the effective. So kani makapangutan na ka if effective ba ang imong learning? If sakto ba ang imong gibuhat? Or need pa ba ka mag-improve? So this will talk about, or the questions will talk about completing a task, or when you complete a task you're going to ask yourself if what did I do well? Or did I do well? Or what challenges did I face? Like, kinahalan ba ni mo internet connection pero hining ang internet connection? Kuwang ba ka sa supply sa imong module or wala ang imong gistudihan sa imong module? Or kuwang ang details na sa imong module? Or what would I do differently next time kung asa ka mag-improve? Do you understand? Okay. Now let's talk about the metacognitive teaching strategies. So this involves the graphic organizers and visuals in instructions, displaying the relationship between facts, information, ideas, or concepts. One good example for this is the KWH-LAQ chart, a variant of the KW chart. It is useful during planning, monitoring, and evaluating basis of cognition. It involves the planning, monitoring, and evaluating, which we talked about a while ago. So these are the strategies. Yes, and are you familiar with the KWH-LAQ chart? This is what we call what do I know, what do I need to know, how do I find out, what have I learned, what action will I take, and what new questions do I want? That is the key WH-LAQ question or chart. Yes. Next is the think aloud. So think aloud refers to the learners to do the things about their thinking as they undertake a task. So this talks about the thinking about thinking. So kung magbuhat ka og task, kinahanglan hunahunahon jud mo og maayo. Diba? Dili ka pwede nga magditso-ditso lang. Kaya kung magditso-ditso lang ka, possible na daghan ka ang sayop. Aside sa daghan kang sayop, balikon pa ni mo tanan. Magbalik-balik pa ka og buhat. Yes, that's right. Now, journalizing. Journalizing can be used together with think aloud. So think aloud and journalizing are related to each other. Yes, for example, as a writer, you have to do a journal, right? So the learner will write what was in their mind, which they selected as an answer that they have chosen. Yes, so kung writer ka, maghatagan ka o specific na topic, dapat imong hunahunahon pod if unsay angan nimo ibutang, unsay angan nimo i-include sa kana nga article or sa kana nga imong gisuwat. Yes, that's right. Then later, the writer will have a realization where they were wrong and what would have been considered in answering. So kung writer ka and karabaw na ka o sa imong buhaton, after nimo na mabuhat, makaingon pud gihapon ka nga say bato asa ang sayop ato, or unsay angay na kong buhaton, unsay angay na kong i-consider basta mag-answer ko og ato. Yes, and then you're going to resolve it and want what to do next times. So similar situation or problems test. So for example, writer ka, nabuhat ng article and everything, but correctionan ka. And you're open for correction. Dapat open for correction, syempre. And accuracy itself. So dapat sakto po ang details na mong gihatag. But when you're correctionan ka, this will help you improve or do better next time. Am I right? Yes, so it means that you have to take it as a positive feedback or positive motivation para mas ma-better ka or you can do better next time. Yes, now let's talk about the error analysis or error analysis. So it is a systematic approach for using feedbacks on one's metacognitive to improve one's for future performance. Yes, that's right. So error analysis is that you will identify asa ka na sa'yo. And by that way, or through that way, mas prove mo sa imong self na you have a knowledge to know what's your mistake or to know if you have a mistake. Yes, that's right. It is about accepting your mistakes. Yes, it's also about the knowing your weakness, your strength, and learning styles. Same as the personal knowledge. Now let's talk about the wrapper. So wrapper is an activity that fosters learners' metacognition before, during, and after the class. So for example, when you become a teacher, so when you're a teacher, then your student, na mabantayan mo sa student na giduka na sila, fail nimo, kapiyungon na sila during discussion, and wala ka ay nanupag. So in this part, you will go to use a wrapper, pampa-engage sa ilaha or pampapukaw sa ilahang attention. Yes, that's why it states there that it is used before, during, and after the lesson. Now, let's go to peer monitoring. So peer monitoring is a metacognitive strategy, and many learners learn when studying with peers who are informed and asked to them. Yes, that's right. When you're a student, di ba mas prefer nimo if na kay kakuyog ma-study? Samot na ang if kanay muhang ka-study buddy or ang muhang barkada kay mas naay knowledge sa imuha or mas naidaghan masabtan sa imuha. You know, I'll share this something to you. My teacher said, Miss Zell, sa ilahang circle, kay mas prefer nila if silang upat sa iyahang friends magkuyog o study. Kaya nga naman, mas masabtan nila ang ilahang studyhan. But it doesn't mean na kanang upat magdungan o study sa usa ka subject o madungan po og basa sa usa ka subject. For example, ako, ang barkada ni Miss Giselle. I'll study the maths, Miss Giselle, I study the science and math as si Miss Giselle sa math. And then, ang other friends sa history and sa English. So ako, kung usa akong knowledge, ako isulti nila. And they will learn something from me. And then, si Miss Giselle na mo discuss sa math, ang usa na mo discuss sa history, ang usa na mo discuss sa English. So, mas understandable siya kay nasabtan sa usa, ang niyang nasabtan po, iyang ipaabot sa lain. Am I right? Mas effective siya. So, do you have any questions? Violent reactions? If so, please study more about metacognition. And see you for our next topic. Thank you for today and thank you for listening my discussion. Again, I am Teacher Erica, your teacher for today. Bye for now. Bye-bye.